You know, hockey has cheerleaders too.
There we go.
No, it doesn't. Good morning,
Good morning,
everybody. Welcome to the Valleycast. You've got Joe, Steve, and Elliot, and I'm going to start off this with a real quick shout out to Gonzaga University. Way to make it to the Elite Eight. You went far beyond what people expected you to do this year, and I appreciated the journey. Shout out to Drew Timmy for doing things that no other basketball player has ever done at Gonzaga or in college basketball. That was fun. I had a great run watching the March Madness this year. This is the first year that my son has, or anybody in my family, sat down and watched with me, and he got hooked, and it was so cool because he actually wanted to sit there and cheer with me, and he got invested, and it was very
cool.
heartwarming.
Did you give him a beer?
I did. I did.
You should get those non-alcoholic ones I recommended you and give him one of those because they're cool. I still find it.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes. I think it starts with your show.
That's not a gateway drink.
So you got him into sports. You did it. You got your kid into sports.
I got him into
it's
enjoying,
preemptive.
Yeah, I got him into enjoying watching. Being invested in something and cheering for it, and it was really fun. It was fun, cool. Just the two of us hanging out and him knowing the players and being upset when it taught him the game, which was really fun too. It was fun watching him learn in real time.
Joe, do you remember that movie Stay Tuned pretty well?
Pretty well.
Yeah. It's a movie where the devil installs satellite televisions in people's homes, and then it sucks them into the TV, and then they get to be tortured through like hellish television, like
depending on the channels. Yeah,
depending on the channels, and for some reason we got to see all sorts of fun, weird hell versions of TV, like Wayne's Underworld and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then at one point there's a commercial for like non-alcoholic beer for kids. Do you remember that?
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out again.
It's because when I was like, did you give Jackson a beer? It reminded me of that commercial in Stay Tuned. Basically, it's got this kid wearing like a tank top at the breakfast table. And the commercial's like, now you can drink like your dad or whatever. And the kid he like downs one, and then he like crushes it and throws it behind his head. And then he looks over at his mom and he burps and goes, "Give me another one, babe."
Is that what Jackson does?
That's what all I could picture is Jackson saying it to your mom.
Just
give me
finishes
another
his juice
one,
box.
babe.
Yeah.
Just because dad says, "Give me another one, babe," to his wife to bring him another beer.
The premise of Stay Tuned is literally just a Futurama episode. Like,
yeah. I love it though. That movie's so stupid and bad.
John Ritter.
Rest in peace, John.
Well,
Ritter.
anyway, guys, Elliot, we were sans an Elliot last episode. But Elliot, I don't know if you know this, but my friend is making a Lost documentary, about the movie Lost. And this morning they made the announcement that the first time show, we made the announcement on the podcast last week pretty much, but they made an announcement this morning that first time show is in the movie. And they interviewed Owen and Brett and I, and it was
They interviewed you guys for
for a lot, because we did a Lost podcast, and it's all about the documentary is about Lost and the fandom and how it affected pop culture and all that shit. It looks really cool. It's called Getting Lost.
So you did an interview for a documentary about a podcast about a show?
We did an interview on a documentary about a show as a podcast.
Okay.
So we appeared.
And then you interviewed the man who interviewed you on a podcast that is closely connected to a podcast that featured yourself and other Lost fans.
Great.
That's correct.
Cool.
That's correct.
All right.
So anyway, I just wanted to give a quick update on that. And it was a fun episode. My friend Ralph will probably come back eventually to promote the movie again, but
I'd love to meet him.
he showed us he showed a frightening image that he took of himself at a Comic-Con in like 2004 or something. And you could see me and my ex-wife in the background, like clear as day. And he like had that picture and like we didn't know each other. We didn't know each other. We did not know each other. We had not met each other.
Right.
But I am in the background of one of his Comic-Con photos, like clear as day. It's terrifying.
Did you send the photo to?
Yes, it's in the episode, I think, right?
You sent it to your ex. You sent it to your ex-wife.
I sent it to her, yeah.
Okay.
And she said,
illegal.
"Aw."
Good.
Really?
Good.
No, I didn't fucking send it to my ex-wife.
Okay. Oh, like that really took a sweet turn. I was like, I didn't know that. You genuinely got me.
That is amazing. If you guys all can't tell, we filmed this at 8 a.m. on Sundays, and it takes a while to warm up.
Dude, there's a Taco Bell. Have you guys ever heard of Yeasty Boys?
No, but are you about to talk about that downtown sit and eat Taco Bell?
Yeah. Well, you know about this? There's like a Yeasty Boys Taco Bell collab. And they're doing like a Taco Bell truck. And Matt, Rob, and I are going to go try and brave it. But it's not going to be a good plan. We're doing that in like an hour.
Oh, early morning Sunday Taco Bell.
I've got my pants on and everything. I'm
Got
just
your
gonna
Taco
run,
Bell pants.
I'm gonna run right out the door. But it's a Taco Bell truck. And
When was the last time you had Taco Bell?
Honestly, it's been a few weeks.
Nice. Okay. What about you, Joe?
I don't have it that often. When I do have it, it's because Jackson really wants it, and I just get a slushie.
Whoa. You don't like Mexican food?
Whoa. I don't know how we haven't talked about this before.
That's crazy.
Steve, do you want to?
I don't know. I want to know more.
That
Very
seems
funny.
like you should.
I want to know more. Joe, you don't like Taco Bell food?
I don't mind it. It's just I'm at the point now where it's like I like my tummy to feel okay.
It doesn't make your tummy feel good?
No, it doesn't.
I don't walk away. It doesn't make my tummy nor my guilt center feel great when after I eat some Taco Bell.
No, you don't walk away going, "Wow, I'm living my best life."
And I don't stay up till 2 a.m. anymore. And that's where it tastes the best. Like that 2 a.m, just like it's been a long night with friends. What do we want to do? Let's get some Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I ordered
I'm in bed
it
before that moment.
I ordered it almost exactly a week ago and maybe 8 hours because we came back from watching Pitbull, Imagine Dragons, and Weezer, and we ordered Taco Bell at midnight. And
that's the perfect time to do it.
Who was the
great time.
best?
Now tell us about that concert.
Yeah, who's the best in that lineup?
Well, you're not going to believe it. I enjoyed Weezer the most.
Mm.
Did you guys know? Let me ask you something. Do you guys know what the lead singer of Imagine Dragons looks like?
No.
Yes, he is the most like just basic dude looking dude.
Well,
Just a dude.
Maybe the last time you saw him is that's what he looked like. But that man has gotten quite a personal trainer, and he
did he get all yoked?
He comes out totally shirtless.
Oh yeah, he's yoked.
Ripped, and starts being, "You make me a believer," and I was like, "Okay." I turned to Grace, and she was like, "Wow," and I was like, "Well, we can go."
You turned to Grace and said, "He made me a believer."
Yep.
I stand by. He looks like you're just normal, everyday, basic dude,
Yes,
but now
he
he's
does.
yoked and seems to be on the Danny Elfman diet.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
He's got a little bit of a Ryan Phillippe thing going on.
Yes, he does. Great comparison, Steve. He did great concert. Weezer was great. He said 2 things to the audience. Rivers said 2 things. He said, 1, are you guys ready to get Weezered?
Oh, God.
And
Do you
he
think
said
the
that
rest of the
4
band
songs.
gave him shit for saying that
I hope
later?
they did. As they were cashing their checks. And then he said, the second thing he said to the audience was, "It's Weezer."
Wait, Rivers said that?
Yeah.
Didn't he used to talk to the audience a bunch about aliens
Not
and
this
shit?
time. No, he didn't do any of that.
Wow,
You
maybe
guys
he
ready to
learned.
get Weezered?
Maybe he learned his lesson.
Wait.
Yeah.
Where did we see this? Where did you go?
This is Tampa, Florida, outside the Raymond James Stadium, home of the Buccaneers, part of
'Cause
the
that's
Innings Festival, celebrating the spring training season for baseball. So it was Pitbull, Weezer, Imagine Dragons, and various baseball players.
What a lineup.
So there's
So weird.
there's a website called Queerty, and there's an article that says Imagine Dragons singer Dan Reynolds' sweaty abs have the gays imagining something.
Yeah, exactly. So
What a headline.
stuck around, and I was like, well, if we can, you know, I was like, I didn't know he looked like that.
Honestly, if you had to put a gun to my head and said, "Tell me what the guy from Imagine Dragons looks like," I'd be like, I'd think about how he's like that Radioactive song sounds like the kind of song a muscly guy would scream into a microphone.
Yeah, it's like jock rock.
Yeah, so I'd be like, I guess maybe he's got muscles.
Yeah, yeah. When you see him though in person, and we were pretty far back at that point. Pitbull still brought brought the place down. That guy knows how to put on a show, and it's one of the funniest things you'll ever see in your life. If you ever get a chance to see Pitbull while eating a corn dog or eating ice cream, something phallic, hopefully, it is quite funny to watch him.
Can I
because
ask
he just
you-
plays old clips. He plays old music videos from songs that he's been in that are not his songs that he's just featured in. And he just does it over and over again. And then he's got little dancers that come out that are specifically supposed to look like people like Jennifer Lopez. It's really great. I recommend it.
You should do like a comedy show where it just plays clips of you guesting on other people's podcasts
that's
and
great.
shows
Yeah.
and stuff.
This is one time I was on Rhett and Link.
Check this out. Elliot, can I ask you a question about the show? Did Pitbull bite any babies or children? Because I hear that they're prone to,
Anyway,
they bite children and then they have to be put down.
I'm glad
No,
to hear
but
about
Rivers did.
Jackson. Yeah, Rivers did. Rivers drowned a kid.
So
It's
shocked.
Weezer. Ah!
Rivers bit a kid and then they
Yeah.
tranquilized him.
Wait. What was the best part of the Weezer performance? How many
They
songs?
did a bunch of old songs. They played straight through. They were the only band that didn't walk off stage. They played a bunch of old deep cuts. They played
Cool. Oh, you said they
songs
played
that are
Suzanne.
obscure. They played Suzanne. It was all acoustic.
That's
They
crazy.
They played Greatest Man That Ever Lived. That's like a 6.5, 7-minute song. Great stuff. They played My Name Is Jonas, Surf Wax, a bunch of old stuff. They played Good Life, El Scorcho. It was weird. And what's weird about it is they, for 20 years, would do these concerts and people would want them to play the old songs and not the new ones. And now they've been around so long that it switched back. And when they play the old songs, you can kind of tell the energy dies down a little bit because people don't want to hear those deep cuts anymore. They want to hear like Africa and Beverly Hills and Pork and Beans and all that stuff. It's wild.
Dude, this is.
Crazy. I mean, they've been around forever.
I want to go to a Weezer show knowing I'm gonna hear Surf Wax America or whatever that song's called.
Something. Yeah. They didn't
And-
play it to the end though. They cut it off short, which would bum me out because that.
But
end
I
was
want to
so
go
good.
to. I want to hear all those old ones. You know, like
Yeah.
I was talking to someone about the Weird Al Self-Indulgent tour that very specifically is like we only do the fucking non-parody stuff,
All his originals, yeah.
and like
Which are
people
very,
were like,
very good.
"Oh, of course, it's some of his best shit," I think, and the audience seemed so disappointed that he was just doing deep cuts.
Yeah.
It's like, did you read the ticket?
Yeah, like it's so clear that he's not going to be doing the parodies. And it seems like because the audience is like low energy, he busts out with the Force Begins or whatever the fuck.
It was
that
like
song- Saga
it was like
Begins.
AKA the Not Doing Amish Paradise tour.
yeah. But then he did it anyway because, you know,
Oh, did he? He still ended up playing some?
he did like acoustic versions of them.
Oh,
like,
that's
you
kinda
know,
cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
Weird
did.
Al.
He did. So at every show, he would do like 2 parody songs, and they'd be like at the very end of the set, and it was like acoustic and like
Nice.
really low key.
We saw also at this festival there was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
No. I was going to ask more about the festival, please.
There's Group Love. Do you guys know that band? Group Love?
Yeah.
They're fun.
Take me
And
round
then-
your best friend's house. Down to
Oh,
bed.
yeah.
Johnny me chung.
I
Yeah.
love that song. It came
Really
out
catchy.
like way post me being a young teenager. But if that would have came out when I was a teenager, that would have been such an anthem.
Yeah.
If that came out when I was a teenager, I probably would have gone to my best friend's house.
Yep. Absolutely. And that moment.
But no, I'm not taking
I
the other.
never
No,
went.
I'm not going down
never
Fifth
went.
Street. I'm going round the roundabout.
I don't care how I
yeah.
get there. Just take me.
Oh yeah.
Guys, I don't know how to use a roundabout.
Have you guys heard of a band called Japanese Breakfast?
No.
Yes, also
They
very
are-
group lovey.
They were there.
Really?
Very
I'm gonna,
lovely and
I'm
very
gonna figure
fun.
it out.
I
Wait,
like them
did
a
you
lot.
see all of these bands or not?
Yeah, that's all of them. They had 2 stages set up, so you could go from one to the other, and there was no gaps in between. And then it rained. And then
Elliot, you went to a festival like a young college
Like a young
kid.
buck, yeah.
we weren't drinking, so we were just high and walking around
That's
eating
nice.
ice cream. It was really
That's
nice.
nice.
And then we
What
ordered
was the-
Taco Bell. Now full circle.
What would you say the median age was?
You know, there were plenty of children. I'll say that. Lots of
And
children.
by children, you mean 19 and above?
No, I mean children.
Children.
Tiny
Interesting.
ones.
You
Running
know, I
amok.
went
To have
to
like a family, like just like you said, it was like a baseball
Yeah.
culture. They just
Pretty wild.
it was like a big old
Clearly
thing
okay
for the
for family.
community.
Yeah.
I went to go see Poppy once.
Oh, that's
you know.
that's not one for the kids. You don't want.
No,
you don't want her.
but she had like so many kids were there.
Wow.
Like an insane amount of kids, like mostly kids, and then the parents that brought their kids. And I remember like,
Well, Poppy is a a YouTuber that has probably catered to a child like audience, right?
I mean, I think people didn't understand the performance art aspect of Poppy and just were like, these are cute songs, and that's a cute girl doing cute songs. And I think that kids get attracted to that on YouTube and shit because it's all over YouTube, but it's not for kids at all. Like it's performance art.
Yeah.
What's that song that she does where it's like,
Yeah. Have you listened to her latest stuff?
I just want the Elliot version of that song.
I know. It's good.
I listened to I don't know if she has latest stuff, but I enjoy some of her songs.
Yeah.
Ironically,
Yeah.
it's
They're good songs.
I can honestly say I've never heard one, but because of
Yeah.
your guys' adamant bringing up of it, I will check
Here you
it
go.
out.
Listen to this one.
You know
I
that
can't
one?
really hear that, but I will check it out.
But
Check it out.
Remember when like Poppy went to the streamies or something and she was in like a plastic box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Just so you two, it's like I wrote it off. I was like, okay, that's some hey, look at meism, and I can't handle that.
But it was actually more like what Lady Gaga does with her like meat outfits and stuff. But Poppy was doing it in a like anti-establishment, anti-consumerism kind of way. It was weird.
It was weird when Harley Mornstein popped out right after her.
Yeah.
Like, how did
Out of
they
her
both
skin,
fit?
like
Out of the
she
skin,
ripped her
yeah.
mouth open, and Harley
Crazy.
came out.
Well, Harley
like
Yeah.
is
It
Poppy.
was really cool.
Harley,
like a werewolf.
it's like a
My bad.
VTuber.
Ellie, me telling you to sing Poppy songs reminds me of a real embarrassing text I sent. I think within the last year, I was listening to Hall & Oates, and I was like, whoa, I got an idea. And I texted Rhett and Link, and I was like, hey, guys, I got the next biggest thing for you. You need to just cover all the Hall & Oates songs and release an album and call it Raw and Loates.
Oh my god.
Joe, that is a terrible idea.
Tell me that they did. Tell me that you didn't get a response.
Tell me they've talked to you since then.
Yeah, tell me they haven't
They
talked
give
to
me,
you
like-
since then.
They might have been like one of those, just like, might have been one of those Haha.
Haha.
One of those
Good-
thumbs ups.
Haha. Love you, Joe. Hope you're well.
I honestly stand by the idea. I would listen to Rhett and Link cover and sing really good Hall & Oates songs and make like shitty recreated versions of the music videos.
Yeah.
I would love every second of it. I think it would be great. But then they get to call it Rollin' Lotes, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, yeah, and it probably would work. Joe, you have an ability to know that these things are
Yeah,
when
this
they're gonna
could
work, they're gonna work.
It could work. Yeah.
They're too busy. Those guys are busy.
They are, and they're too busy. Yeah, they're
can't
too busy
believe
for
I
your
said
dipshit
that.
ideas. But
Fucking text.
No,
That's
it's
so
very
funny.
good. Like, and it is really in line with the things that they do.
Right.
It like
Exactly.
isn't completely out of the ordinary for something that they'd just drop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look,
It's
I don't know.
very in their wheelhouse. Yeah.
I'm just giving away gold, you know? I'm
Hey,
just
so-
handing it out.
Can I
Yeah,
bring
you
up
really
kind of
are.
a hot topic?
Yes.
That isn't too controversial. That I don't. Well, there is some controversy surrounding this subject, but I want to hear your guys' like take on the whole AI thing. Like, are we Elliot's soul's being downloaded into the AI? What is that? What the hell was that?
what? Me? Huh?
What was that?
This is my headphones.
Oh, you're charging him. I got it.
Gross. Oh gosh, that oh my god, it's been everywhere. Ah!
But I want to know how you guys feel about all this AI shit.
Steve, I have spent the past 12 weeks in a class called Technology and Psyche, and it was all about post-humanism, the rise of AI, and technology in general.
How was that?
Wait. Hey, spoiler.
Really interesting.
Elliot's gonna say it's not good.
It doesn't seem good.
Is that the takeaway you got from like the future of AI?
The takeaway, if I were to say there's a takeaway, it would probably be there's not a lot to be concerned about. You have to have like instinct, and you have to have some kind of an embodied presence to be an actual fully formed human, like to have a sense of soul. You have to be connected to your environment. That's what makes you a human. And you have to like have this war between your inner world and your outer world, and it creates personalities. You can't really do that with AI, so you can cram them full of information, but it's not going to be like, they're not going to have wisdom. They're not going to have like a soulful quality to them. They're not going to be able to communicate or wonder about like where they come from. If they start doing that, then we're all screwed. Yeah.
Wow, that's a really good.
But there's
That's-
a projectionism that's important
Yeah.
with that as well, because right, Elliot, like you're saying that they may not get to that point, but that may not matter because humans are dumb, and because we're dumb, we will project meaning into things so we can have that, so we can reflect our inner desires upon ourselves from an outside source and use that as a mechanism to believe
Like projection. Yeah.
or just straight up projection. So it's how we handle it, which is going to be the scary part. Steve, I don't want to say like I'm afraid of it, but it's not right now. It's like kind of a cute, fun tool.
Yeah.
It can be a fun
Yeah.
tool,
And it's cool.
I understand why an artist would not like it. I understand why some people see it as beneficial. All I know is that it's going way too fast, much like the internet, for our stupid human brains to comprehend
Yeah,
it. And
I
things are
agree.
going to be very different in a year, and we are not prepared for it.
That
Yeah,
would
I
be
mean,
mostly, yes. That's what the big takeaway from our class is, basically learning how to pause and reflect and slow down, because there's nothing we can do that's going to stop what's coming.
I think that like as a species we adapt pretty well, right? Like especially now with what we have access to at our fingertips. Like I think we have adapted to a lot of different huge waves of like technology, and like we adapted to the internet. We adapted to, telecommunication, things like that. Big advances in technology. So I feel like as scary as it is, like we'll just need to adapt to
Perhaps.
whatever's coming.
I mean, the problem is that we're also in a time period that I would not I would akin, as far as human thought goes, is probably closer to stepping towards the Dark Ages than the Renaissance. We seem
Yeah.
to be clean. cover, and
Great
there are
point.
certain groups of people that
Great
are fighting for that
point.
mightily. And
Mm-hmm.
because of it, because we are refusing to grow while this other thing is growing so fast, I think that adaptation will be incredibly hard. And I think when we had the brilliant Michael Reeves on our podcast, and he was screaming for things like universal basic income, I think we need to be starting to think of stuff like that, but we are refusing to even to step in the realm of curiosity and problem solving to address the possibility that the incredibly swift rise in AI, which can take over and is taking over a bunch of human currently human provided services,
Yeah.
will and are being swiftly replaced. We are going to have a chaotic problem of humans searching for purpose and also having the opportunity for purpose, and that's a scary thought.
Well,
I agree.
I think that all aligns with like the idea of like the humans adapting, right? Like evolving. Like we evolve, it's survival of the fittest. It's all those things. It's like how do we live as long as we possibly can, and we follow the rules, and we kind of like do what we're told, and things like that. And with AI, it feels like with every major technological advancement, some people are out of jobs. Some people are like lost. They feel like they don't know what to do because these printing presses, they took my
The
job.
original AI.
Yeah. But it's like I think what we're talking about is in general is the advancement of technology, right? Like technological advancements have helped humanity around every corner. And of course, there's always the bad shit that comes from technological advancements too. But as a human who benefits directly from technological advancements, I would never want to stop technology from advancing
So
because
that
without that, I would die of the cold, right?
Well, ironically, you might in turn die from the heat due to the technological innovation that sees resources as endless on the planet. And so while there is like the kind of dark side of the technological revolution, it's only going to continue to grow as technology grows. So
Yeah.
yeah, you would be more comfortable, but it's sort of like a frog in a pot situation. And unfortunately, because of the way that the climate change situation works, the people who are going to be most affected by it, like Joe was kind of getting at, the economic disparity between people, it's going to affect the least among us worst first, and
Yeah.
the most among us best first.
Yeah.
And so that's a just something to like keep in
Yeah.
mind.
It's also like inevitable though. Like it's inevitable.
It is
Like
inevitable. And
we
yeah,
can't
it is
stop the planet Earth from dying. We can't stop climate change. It's already too far gone. So all
we can
we
make
can
some changes.
do, all we can do is adapt. That's it. Die or adapt. That's it.
I was about to say you were operating with hope, Steve, but now I don't know if you are.
Well, no, I hope my hope is that we'll adapt. And some people unfortunately will see the negative effects of other people adapting to this like weird future technology boom world. But that's like part of the evolution of humanity. Like not everyone gets to enjoy the future, right?
I think a lot of it is just bear in mind that every adaptation loses something in the process. So like anytime we become more like, what is it, the Inuit? I think it's not Inuit. It's some tribe in Canada, like northern Canada, like a Eskimo something type like culture like that. They got introduced. They would spend their youth learning how to hunt and gather and do all this stuff and learn the landscape. And then what happened is they started adapting very slowly to technology. They started getting GPSs. The kids wanted GPSs, and then before you know it, a couple generations pass with these GPSs. The amount of deaths that have occurred just in that like tribe are way, way, way higher because their adaptation to technology unrooted them from understanding what their environment was, and so it led to more and more deaths. So it's like if you extrapolate that on a cultural level, we might have more convenience with technology. We will lose skills, we'll lose connection to our environment, we'll lose the ability to understand what we're doing in a bad way. And so you'll have a horizontal growth, but vertically, as like being grounded individuals, I think that might end up getting lost in the sauce a little bit. And I think that's the major concern.
I think if you look at history and you look back at humans reacting to the introduction of technology, it goes a bunch of different ways, right? Like, there's certainly unavoidable aspects of the technological boom and the like fucking roller coaster of technology we're on right now that will create all these horrible things for sure. But again, if I had the choice to end technology, if I had the choice to be like, Steve, you have the power to stop technology right now, I'd be like, well, no.
I mean, but that's a you're talking about like two sides of a coin, and this is like more of a 500-sided die that we're rolling.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
a two-sided coin. There is a hope, right? there's a hope with the conversation that we're talking about, and that hope is what you are talking about to a point, Steve, which is adaptation. And the hope that in adapting to this swiftly growing thing that we cannot understand and is probably already out of control, that we can adapt and use all of these things for good and think about future generations. And honestly, the hope is the younger generations right now, who seem to be like the ones that care about it and are trying to make a change, but just don't have control. That's where the hope is. Now, I think the history argument, quite honestly, only goes so far, because there's been nothing like this in history. Every technological advancement prior to this, printing press, the plow, fucking fire, like they were these slow burning things. The Industrial Revolution, which was the swiftest fucking thing ever until now, seems like a snail's pace to what we are dealing with and how fast we are going now. So I think we can't even count on the historical ramifications of prior technological revolution.
I mean,
I would disagree.
But
only in the sense that I think you can look to the historical moments and get a rough idea of what might happen. Like, there's this one example of speaking of the Industrial Revolution, it was about how they had a specific illness back in the day. I think it was called like train sickness or something like that. But when the trains started,
is that when you turn into a train?
Yeah, it's when you turn into a train,
get
and
bit
it's
by
very
a train.
painful. Very.
That's
painful.
how we got trains, you guys.
That was good. My dad was bit by a train.
You start speaking chugga chugga instead of English. It's very complicated.
God, I'm suddenly hungry. I suddenly want coal.
But basically, the trains were so loud and scared people so much that people started fainting. They were unable to like go to work because the speed of everything was moving so quickly. They also literally thought back then that the trains were scaring away the spirits in the mountains, because they believed that. It doesn't matter if the spirits actually existed, but the fact that they thought that they were being scared away basically means that the technology moving quickly does affect people's sense of like safety, essentially. But you're right that I believe that this whole idea that we're getting into, especially when you start getting into like we're gonna be able to download our consciousnesses into the whatever, that's a whole different thing. I mean, maybe you could go back to like Frankenstein, which is kind of the similar story, but yeah.
I mean, like, we
stuff.
won't be able to predict, like, there's not much you can predict from the technology boom, but as far as like human behavior goes, like Elliot was saying, like, I think people are scared of AI, like, for real. Like, people were scared of how fast the trains go, and I think that the people who are scared aren't thinking critically about like how we can utilize this as a like potential way to, help humanity, learn new things ourselves. Like, what I to speak to the positives of this conversation as well. Like, I can't wait to see what kind of like organic, tactile art comes from artists that are like, okay, so AI is taking my digital art. Like, I can't just go on my Wacom tablet and draw this beautiful thing that took me weeks to make and put it on the internet and get attention for it anymore. Because now anyone could just type in beautiful forest into a thing and get a painting that might be even better than the one that the guy organically made. So what I want to see is that artist go, instead of being like, my life is over, I want that artist to be like, fuck it, I'm gonna do shit AI can't do. I'm gonna go and potentially this could reinvigorate, like, you know, things like film, celluloid film. We'll see artists, students, young kids growing up in this AI dominated world making like amazing art as a result of it.
There's already stories about kids having old cameras now, like in
I love it.
So.
Records have outsold CDs and everything else for the first time in years and years.
Yeah,
like,
there's always going to be like a need for the human connection element, and that's where kind of like my head goes for some of the like the hope in it. Like you immediately always going to be like, as a human, project your own experience into projecting what's going to go down the line. So for us, we are quote unquote entertainers or artists or comedians. Right. So you start going like, how is it going to affect me? And it could, right? At first you were like, this is a job that won't ever be overtaken by AI. But now AI is writing comedy. It's writing poetry. It's writing songs. Some of it you might argue is better. But I do think that, and it's probably already happening. YouTubers, for example, there's probably a YouTuber out there right now who everything they say, even without telling you, is AI generated art.
Yeah.
Be it comedy, be it a monologue, be it whatever.
Totally.
But there still needs to be that personality behind it. I still think that personalities will continue to sell even in the rise of AI.
It's missing something. It's got an uncanny valley quality.
We lived through, like, Joe, you more so than Elliot and I, but we all kind of lived through the birth of YouTube. And then the boom of making potentially millions of dollars in your own bedroom.
Speaking of MeUndies, don't forget.
Of course, yeah. Of sitting in your own bedroom and talking to your camera, and suddenly you can be a millionaire. And then everyone rushing into that concept of I could be a millionaire in my bedroom, and then oversaturating that, and then creating the need for things like Vine and TikTok now, where
Meerkat,
of course. Sorry.
Periscope.
Sorry. Yeah. Foursquare. But all of these things that everyone, like, I like to call TikTok a fame simulator, because it gives you a little taste of what we we're on the cutting edge of in the YouTube days. It lets you have a taste of like getting 100,000 views on a thing you made in your bedroom. And I think that for us, Joe, as artists, and Elliot as creatives, it oversaturated the market of social media entertainers. Everyone wanted to rush and get in on this like money boom for being an entertainer and shit. But what Joe said is true. You can be a beautiful looking person or a unique looking person and have your money and all the things that you can put into creating a piece of content. But if you don't have the personality for it, and if you don't have the like it factor, like, it is what it is basically, and it becomes a survival of the fittest kind of thing.
Yeah, if you don't have that Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh charisma with a capital C, you're not going to make it, baby. Not anymore.
I agree.
I'm talking Michael Knowles. I'm talking freaking Gavin McInnes, bro.
Yes!
And Candace Owens.
Speaking of underwear... what do we have here? We've got an ad for MeUndies.
Yes!
Whoa.
Guys, look. Technology is scary. The future is scary. Uncertainty is terrifying. The weight of uncertainty crushes our souls every morning as we awake. But have you ever asked yourself, when was the last time you treated yourself to something quality?
Dude, you asking us?
Yeah, we're not. Look, I'm not
Every time I
calling you
take a shower.
basic.
Every time I take a shower.
I know you're not
grab-
basic, Elliot, and I know you're not basic, Joe.
Thank you.
Pretty basic.
We get it. Sometimes it feels like quality things are out of reach.
See, when you break it down this slow, it really does go into that uncanny valley AI kind of deal that makes me super uncomfortable.
But now that MeUndies is available on the MeUndies website, Amazon, and Nordstrom stores across the country,
Amazon.
you don't have to choose between quality and convenience. Convenience is something we were talking about. Technology created convenience. MeUndies is offering 25% off plus free shipping on your first order. When you order through their website, the undies are ripe for the taking.
Gross.
Ripe. Pungent.
Now, look, I love to treat myself. I love it. Hedonism. And you know, when I come home from working hard, you know, whatever it is, all I want to do is strip down to my birthday suit, right to the skins, and slip on a fresh, straight from the package, MeUndies pair of underwear. And that's it.
It truly is an experience.
I'm telling you, you've never
Do you guys
felt
do
a
that?
softer.
I do that.
You've
Yes.
never felt a softer fabric on your body.
Before going to bed, I'll put on a new MeUndies, and it's really nice.
And then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, it's
Are we
like
still doing that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's like slipping your legs into a freshly washed set of linens.
I would contend it's better than that.
But these linens are for your loinins. Isn't that right, Joe?
How do we learn? How do we get these?
I'll tell you how we get them. I'll tell you how you get them. I'm telling you, as I said, shopping for MeUndies has never been easier, guys. In the mood and in the mood to feel their famous fabric, guys, and their fun prints. Like right now, what do I have? I have little martini glasses.
That's fun.
I'm wearing MeUndies with little martini glasses, and it's really cute.
That's fun.
And I'm treating myself right now. And guys, look, the MeUndies website is the best way to explore all the undies and apparel they have to offer, from men's and women's undies to joggers to socks to bralettes. I don't know if they still have. Look at that. Joe's got skulls.
Nice.
That's MeUndies. Those are great. I wish I had those.
Oh,
And
those
these
are really
pants.
Cool, Joe.
Dude,
Yeah,
the
those are
pants,
definitely
the
MeUndies.
onesies. I mean, MeUndies just makes really comfortable lounge wear and underwear. I will never put another pair of underwear on my body again that isn't MeUndies. And you could put that on my gravestone. So, to get 25% off your first order and free standard shipping, head to MeUndies.com/Valley. That's MeUndies.com/Valley. The sale is only available for online purchases. And remember, if you're not 100% satisfied, it's on them.
Boom.
Boom.
Nicely
Boom.
done, Steve.
Thank you.
It's always nice to truly like the thing that you're paying for.
It really is.
I know. It changes everything.
Wrapping up the AI conversation, at the end of the day, right now, I think it can be very valuable if you use it as a tool. I have a close friend that was like, I didn't want to work on my resume, so I just told Chat CPT all of my stats.
GPT.
The GPT, whoops. And it was like, hey, here's a resume.
Yeah.
And it,
Yeah.
I know, it really is great.
And why not?
Yeah, I know.
Like, I think that we're leaning into technology being about convenience, right? Like, convenience is what this class of humanity is really on board for. Don't you think that, like, for most people, it feels like technology is a research and providing convenience for humans.
It's an archetypal Titanic compulsion toward kind of Icarus type flying too close to the sun, and it's going to ultimately destroy us, and that's why we're never going to be able to be the aliens for other aliens. We're never going to make it because we're going to end up blowing ourselves up because of our cool-ass technology. And then when that happens, when we're both on fire, when all three of us are on fire, we're still going to be recording a goddamn MeUndies ad. And we're gonna be going down, and then we're going to be like, what? It's worth it because it's convenient. And then we're going to watch our flesh melt off, and we're going to end up in hell.
It's so convenient. They deliver it right to your dirty hands.
Yeah, and if you die in a fire, you automatically go to hell. A lot of people don't know that. So you have to be very careful with technology.
Can I pitch a product to you guys?
If you die in a fire, you automatically go to hell. I've never heard that sentence, and it's so funny.
It's horrifying.
It's so funny.
It's horrifying.
A lot of people don't know. You die in a fire, you go to hell.
Because, like, it's all because a lot of those Christian values are very based in like fear and scaring you into not doing something that it benefits their
like being on fire
motivations. So it's like when they're like, don't kill yourself or you'll go to hell, it's a way to scare people to not killing themselves.
Yeah.
So when you're saying if you die in a fire you go to hell, like that's a pure accident sometimes.
Yep.
No, we're trying to
most of the time.
Trying to save that like 0.00001% that choose to self-immolate.
Yeah, at a protest or whatever. That guy.
Okay, can I pitch a product? Let me pitch a product to you guys real quick. Tell me if this fits into the future of convenience. You ever been walking around a public place and you're
sharks.
with your
Hello, sharks.
Sharks. Sharks, you ever been walking around a public place and you're with your loved ones, your partner, whatever, and you're carrying too much stuff? Let's simplify this. You're carrying a soda pop. And you're walking around and your significant other, partner, friend is carrying nothing. Have you ever just subconsciously been like, hand the cup over because you don't want to hold it anymore? Sharks?
I've been the victim of this crime.
You've been the victim of this crime, but you've never been the perpetrator. You've never been like, I'm going to hand this cup over to the person not holding something in my subconscious because they're going to take it and then I don't have to hold it anymore.
No.
You
My
ever
wife,
been in
however,
that? So
my wife would love this product.
what I would say, so the product I'm pitching is this. It's a backpack that you wear that has a human hand. That could hold cups, grocery bags, shopping bags. It's doing this.
It's just there.
It's just there. And you're like, oh, honey, can you hold this? Just put the little soda can in it. There we go. Okay, great. Then you got your hands free. And I know what you're saying, Sharks. Is this thing going to whack into people when I'm walking around when it's not in use? Great point.
Thank you.
The hand can be moved down out of the way of people. It can be brought in and create a hug.
What kind of weight can this thing hold? I mean, if we're doing grocery bags, are we looking at
143 pounds.
I mean, that's a lot of groceries. Mark, that's a lot of groceries.
So you could put your kid on this thing.
Now, I imagine for it to be 143 pounds, there's got to be a counterweight somewhere in it. So are you carrying a very heavy...
Yes, it is very
Is there
heavy.
another arm that extends directly back to balance out?
No, but we're working on a dual arm to balance it, a dual arm system. You could buy another arm and attach it to the backpack, and now you got two arms to hold things for you.
One of the older definitions of technology is that it tries to speed up the time it takes nature to do things. So that's what you're doing because the nature came up with...
Yeah, nature gave us...
this pretty crazy...
appendages because we, turns out, need them.
Yeah.
Let's have another one.
Because if we're talking about a future of convenience, like how... Because, I mean, if I was like... the ShamWow guy or whoever was behind ShamWow.
Jonathan Shamwow.
People who go to Shark Tank, I'd be like, what is inconvenient right now that would make things more convenient that hasn't already been capitalized on and created into merchandise?
Do you know something? Can I just say something that I've gotten recently in the house? It's incredibly convenient that I think you guys should know about. It's a towel warmer.
Ooh. Tell me about it.
That's some bougie.
Uh-oh.
I know. It is pretty.
Joe, your internet cut out a lot, and we couldn't hear anything you said.
It was like, that's a...
I said,
that was a...
I said that's some bougie shit.
Yes,
bougie,
it is. That is bougie.
It's so
but convenient,
gratuitous, and you can put your underwear in there, and by the time you get out of the shower, everything is.
Oh my
very
god!
Nice. So if you think MeUndies are good, lukewarm, you got to bake those babies up a little bit,
dude. But you don't want that in the summertime.
Summertime.
That's true, but we live in LA, so apparently that's never gonna happen.
I know.
This weather, am I right?
Guys, we had a tornado touchdown. Did you see that?
What?
Did
when?
we really?
Yeah, like our last
We're outta
Thursday.
here. I'm out of here.
What? Where did it go? Where?
Might have been a little. But anyways, they were in the Los Angeles area.
What
a
the
tiny little tornado like ripped the roof off a building.
What the fuck?
You do not want to know where you go if you die in a tornado. I saw that, right?
Tornado hell, tornado hell.
You go to tornado hell.
You go to Kansas. I saw a meme that was like, California or people who live in LA are considering moving to Seattle where it's sunnier.
That's a funny, very, very, like, not for a very big audience.
Not
meme.
at all.
No.
Man, what happened in California? We used to be on top. We used to be perfect weather, perfect street, clean beaches, clean streets.
Okay.
Do you think maybe technology had something to do with it?
Yeah, I think so.
I have a question for you, Steve.
Yes.
Real quick. So the AI art brought me back to something that I made over at React last week. I did a video of Guess the 90s cartoon show based off of the AI art's artistic interpretation.
That's really good.
So I just asked AI to be, I was like, make a abstract cubist rendering of Pinky and the Brain. And then it would. And then I made him guess. And it was fun. But you could also go to the level of, I was like, show me a bunch of sticks and mud and leaves of this cartoon show. And it did. And it was crazy. And it was fun. But then it made me think of another video that I did over at React. And I did the history of Mario movies and TV shows leading up to like the Mario movie coming out.
Yeah.
And there's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Of course.
You saw that. You saw freaking The Adventures of Super Mario Brother 3 and Super Mario World.
Yes.
But did you know there are a couple of others, and I wanted to see
if
you knew all about them. Did you know about King Koopa's cool cartoons?
Yeah. And by the way, I saw this as a kid.
You did not.
Because it aired in it was like an only in California show.
You're the only one.
Yeah, dude. Me and my brother watched that show, and they would give away stuff.
Dude, Elliot, this show.
It was insane.
It was called King Koopa's Cool Cartoons, and it was basically like a Bozo the Clown or Barney type show where this really scary looking
like painted face with like a prosthetic mouth.
It was a Koopa costume, like really weird. The whole intro is him like going down Hollywood Boulevard.
Dude,
like,
I remember the song and everything.
Dude,
it was weird.
He's like taking kids with him, and then he infiltrates a clown's television show, basically beats the crap out of everybody, takes over the show, and he's like, it's my show now.
Yeah, and then the audience is like, I think they're wearing little crowns or something, and they love it. So it was like an evil guy show where the audience was like into the evil guy shit.
Mm-hmm. But you would think, what do you do on that show? And guess what? The creators thought the same thing because they didn't know. So what the show is that he would play the kids in the live studio audience cartoon clips from the 1920s and 1930s because it was public domain.
Yeah.
That was the show.
Yeah, and then he gave
Wow.
away stuff. He gave away like Game Boys and like or not Xbox, but like Sega and shit.
Well, Koopa should not be giving away a Sega.
I'll be looking that up.
It's pretty evil. You won't find shit.
You
Elliot.
won't. You'll find like
Really?
a really shitty
It's
intro.
really obscure. Yeah.
Everything was like burned.
Well,
like,
it's
they
funny.
made 60 episodes and you can't find any of them.
Yeah, they're all lost and destroyed or whatever. Yeah.
It's funny you guys bring this up because I did have a thought earlier this week about something to bring up on the podcast, and I figured you guys might be able to relate to this. But you're familiar with the the Mandela Effect?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's one thing I think to be like, okay, weird things happen. We can all like have weird collective memories change. But there is one particular one, and maybe I brought it up on the podcast before, but I can't wrap my head around it. And reading other people's descriptions of this particular Mandela Effect have confirmed my like belief that there's something very strange here. But specifically, you're familiar with the movie that Shaq starred in as a genie?
Shazam. Yeah, you're talking about Shazam.
Yeah, or Kazam? Is it
Kazam. Kazam. Yeah.
Did you guys understand
Shazam starring Shaq. Sorry.
Yeah, which was going to be great too. Are you familiar with another genie movie that starred Sinbad around that time?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was it called? What was it called?
Exactly, Kazam or Shazam, and everyone remembered being like, "Whoa, it's so weird that they just did another like genie movie where it looks like they ripped off the Sinbad one."
Oh,
That
it was
Sinbad-
Shazam. Yeah.
That Sinbad movie never existed.
It never existed. There is no Sinbad genie movie, but the collective
Whoa.
consciousness.
It's very strange to me. Very
I thi-
strange.
You know what I think it's like, Elliot? It's like when.
What? What the
Yeah,
hell?
dude. There isn't
hell?
one.
It
doesn't
really bothers
exist.
me. It still bothers me. It is an itch that is yet to be scratched. Funny or Die did a sketch that makes it look like Sinbad had a movie. They make it look like a 90s movie. You might
Elliot-
find that.
That's what it was.
Can you help me articulate the similarities between the Mandela Effect and you know like
Wait,
with
hold
this-
up. We need to cut back to the moment that I was 100% on board with this movie existing.
Yeah,
Right,
well,
exactly.
a lot of people feel this way, Joe.
And it's usually older millennials.
Yeah.
We all have a very specific memory of there being two genie movies, one starring Shaq, one starring Sinbad, and most people recall the Sinbad movie coming out prior to the Shaq movie.
Dude, the one that really fucked me up
Even-
more.
People even talk about remembering the exact cover, and it's
Yeah.
the exact cover I remember. Like,
Yeah.
he's got his arms folded and everything, even though it's very much what the Shaq one looks like.
Yeah.
Crazy. Sorry, what were you saying?
There's another one that really blew my mind that maybe Joe would be more receptive to. But do you know the Fruit of the Loom logo one? Have you looked into
Yeah.
that one?
Yeah, I've heard about that one.
There was Joe, do you remember a Fruit of the Loom logo that was like a cornucopia with fruit in it?
Yes.
And
Does it
that
not exist?
It's not. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Dude, also Ed McMahon doing Publishers Clearinghouse?
Yep,
Not
going
real.
with it.
Not
Never did
real.
it.
Didn't
Wasn't
exist.
associated.
It was a completely different thing.
Didn't happen.
It
Nope,
didn't happen.
We made it
Joe.
up.
I know. It's crazy. It really makes you feel like, okay, there was some sort of time
It really does.
dimension.
Yeah.
Like a dimension blended into ours, and our consciousness is just like reloaded. Like when you reload a website and
I
it's
don't
got
believe
something
any of
new
this.
on it.
I don't believe any of these lies.
It's crazy, dude. Look into it. It'll blow your mind. But Elliot, is there some connection between the Mandela Effect and the idea that like you can take a bite out of something and be like, okay, that tastes good, and then someone takes a bite out of it and goes like, it tastes like chocolate a little bit, and then the person who bit it before that, it was like, yeah, it did taste like chocolate a little bit,
Yeah,
but it
that's
didn't.
fun. Maybe. Yeah.
Is there a
like
connection,
power
you
suggestion?
think? Yeah, power of suggestion.
Just certainly seems like we all remember it. It's
I
so
know,
strange.
but is it because it's so similar?
I'm
Most
so
people,
weirded
why
out.
Sinbad?
I know, it's weird, Joe. The Fruit of the Loom one really fucked me up. It kept me
That's
up.
yeah. The
Crazy.
Sinbad one confuses me the most, but it definitely is like something got the theory basically is in 2012 the world ended and we didn't know about it, which makes sense because that's when we started SourceFed.
Yeah. Like Y2K, like when computers reset, like so did our whole world. Like the whole world just reset.
Yep.
And then it
That's
was like, wow.
Nuts. Did you ever watch Club Mario?
No, what's that? What the fuck is Club Mario?
All right, so there's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yeah.
If y'all didn't know, it's the Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game, and not the who get all the thing. One of the greatest television cartoon show theme songs ever, right? It featured a cartoon show, but it was basically bookended by 2 live action segments of 2 very old versions of Mario and
Very old and like kind of sketchy.
just like old ass Mario and Luigi live action.
The
like,
Luigi guy looks like he'd try to sell me a watch out of his jacket.
yeah, and borderline stereotypically offensive.
Pretty bad.
So in the 80s, they were it, right? Like it was, we're going to go spend our time with these old dudes and then we're going to go on to our lives. But in the 90s, TV execs were like, well, I don't know if these old stereotypical versions of Mario and Luigi are going to cut it with these 90 kids. They need something else. So they took them off of the packaging and they replaced them with a show called Club Mario, where 2 like Brendan Fraser and Encino Man type 90s kids with backwards hats and hypercolor t-shirts were on a set saying stuff like, yo, bro,
No
it's time for the
way.
Mario show. Dude,
Did that air? That
it
aired?
did. And
How
I
many
found it,
episodes?
and it's crazy. There's the compilations of all of like the book
I
ending.
never heard of this.
Dude, it's nuts. It's like instead of we're the Mario Brothers and plumbing's our game, it goes, hey paisanos, it's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Same Mario head, but then it goes static, and then it goes to this like basically highlight reel of like
MTV Cribs style
windsurfing clips and skateboarders. And then they come to him on this set, dude. You have to check it out. Club Mario.
Have
Club
you guys
Mario.
heard the theory, and then we'll get the fuck out of here? Have you guys heard the theory that I guess this was like canonical way back in the day, but there's a Mario Brothers manga when Super Mario 64 came out that shows like what happens when Mario dies. Like basically Mario dies and is like wherever he dies, he just like goes into the ground and then mushrooms grow out of him. And that's where all the mushrooms come from.
Cool.
From him dying?
Yeah, like the green ones are when Luigi dies and the red ones are when Mario dies, and they grow the mushrooms that you like use.
Love
Beautiful.
it. That's awesome.
Life cycle.
Isn't
like
that
how
interesting?
The luminous stones in Breath of the Wild are, light up because of the souls of the dead.
Ooh, Elliot, have you
beautiful.
pre-ordered the new one? You can do that now.
I know, I haven't done it yet, but I need to. I'm quite excited.
Yeah.
Grace and I have been getting into a game called Pokemon Snap, but we'll talk about that next week, because boy, is that an exciting conversation. Also, I just looked up this Koopa thing, and this is terrifying and hilarious.
Yeah,
It's my show now.
I remember
So
wanting
crazy.
something from, because you could win something from him on the show. Like you'd write your name, or like you'd send in a postcard or something, and then you got entered into a thing to win
Yeah.
stuff.
There's also the Super Mario Brothers movie, you know, the one that tanked the idea of ever
The Bob
doing
Hoskins
Super
one.
Mario content ever again for 30 years until this masterpiece that we're about to watch.
Yeah.
There was a movie before that. There was a 1986 Japanese anime Mario movie that's pretty cool, and you can find it on YouTube. It's an hour long. There's subtitles and stuff like that, but it's pretty dope. You should check it out. It's called
It's
The Adventure-
animated? That's cool.
The Adventure to Save Princess Peach.
Whoa, I love that. I want to see that.
Give it a look.
All right, well, guys, thank you all so much for joining us today. There's no Hollywood. I did have actually some stuff planned for the Hollywood moment where we talked about Hollywood.
Nobody wants to hear it.
But no one wants to
Don't
hear
give a
it.
shit.
But I do want to say that there was one piece of news that I was going to read, that the headline is Sam Neill remembers the late Robin Williams by saying, quote, "the saddest person I ever met."
Oh,
That's our
So-
time, everybody.
So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to MeUndies. Thank you to the
What?
patrons. Thank you to everyone else listening. Kevin.
go watch Ted Lasso.